we're back. So we got a little bit of a build there. We did mess it up with just a little, but that's fine. You know, we're gonna keep going. We got about three more placement matches left. Remember that we've done one accidentally, or we did one about 6, 9 weeks ago, and it's still registering into the new season. But that's fine. So let's go ahead and keep going. Our goal is Masters. This is the second game, and this is on King Sujong Station, LE. I'm not sure what LE means, but it sounds very fancy. This is against a random player. And does that change our build? No, we are going to be using the same build against every single matchup. We're just going to be putting our units in different places, but all the timings are the same. So what I mean by units in different places, like let's say we have a Widow Mine and we're facing a Terran player. Is it an okay place to put it in our mineral line? Yeah, it's not that bad. You know, maybe they'll drop you. But we can also choose to put it at the front. If he's going Banshee, we probably want it closer to the mineral line. And if he's going ground, we probably want it closer to the front. So the units is actually something you can decide. If it's like Protoss, we would want it in a mineral line. The later the stage goes on. For Oracles, you know, if he went double cast, which our Reaper's going to scout, or if he's going heavy pressure, then we want it in our, you know, at our front, you know, to help thwart some of the pressure. So it's something that you can decide as a player. Against Zerg, you obviously want it in the front, or maybe at their third base, their fourth base, you know, and there's just a lot of things that you can change up. But the build order stays the same. The only thing that I could think of that you might switch around is if you get your siege tank or your widow mine first. It really depends on what the opponent is going. If they're going for blank, the siege tank is probably a better choice. So we're going for a 13 gas. Why are we going for a 13 gas? If you're opening up Reaper, the standard is 12 gas. That's very true. It is standard, but we aren't going to be playing quite standard. You know, it's the fastest way you can get a Reaper out to scout, but our build isn't going to change depending on what we scout. At most, we'll throw down a bunker, but we aren't going to try to metagame or mind game the opponent. See, our entire build is going to be around doing the same thing, and one of those things involves an early command center. And the reason that we want this early command center is so that we have extra murals or extra supply drops, just in case, you know, we get supply blocks. So the build actually takes into account the ability to have a little worse macro, you know, than you would like. You know, maybe an extra SCV that you can make. You can float it a little bit to the third for extra gas. So the third command center is quite important. You know, maybe you want an extra scan against Dark Templar. So we're going to go ahead and send the Reaper out. Now while the Reaper is going, we do want to throw down an expansion. We want to kind of put it in our main base, but close to the front to where we can fly it over. Why did we put it here? Well, from this would probably have been a better spot, but the Overlord can kind of see it. It doesn't hurt to try to hide your stuff a little bit. So the Reaper is actually going to go up here on the side. That's interesting. Once the Reaper is over there, we drop a a factory, and we can kind of harass a little bit with the Reaper. Don't let it falter your build though. The Reaper is just there. Oh wow, nice. The Reaper is just there to help us poke around. It's just something to do while you macro and so on. We got the reactor going. Let's start the gas. And the third command center soon. Start the third command center. Is that another queen? Or is that your current queen? That's your current. This player is doing quite well. Try to get a little bit of health on the Reaper before we scooch out. Swap these over. So this player is doing quite well. I wonder what his league is. Swap. Ooh, you know what? We were supposed to throw down the add-on. Little bit in autopilot mode, you know, in my current TvZs. So my apologies. Let's rally over to the front. Let's bring the Reapers back. It's about 6 minutes. But he didn't get any gas geysers, so could we go back? Yeah, we can go back. I completely forgot to take that into account. We were just doing our build. So if he doesn't get gas geysers, is he going to attack right away? Probably not. Let's get the Widow Mine first. You know, if he's got the gas, let's get the Siege Tank. But since he doesn't, let's get the Widow Mine. Let's go ahead and get the Starport. Why do we want the Starport? Well, we can use it to get a Medevac, we can use it to get a Viking. That's really our choice. That looks to be an evolution chamber for upgrades. Do we need more than 4 Marines? Not really, but we can go up to 8. Let's just have enough Marines to fill an entire Medevac. For micro purposes, maybe we want to drop. Ultimately, you know, the choice is yours. And then let's go ahead and get these. So we're a little bit supply blocked, but it's not a problem. Let's just throw down the Emil. Try to keep the timings crisp. This is why one of the reasons we have the third command center. It's also, if you have a third command center, you have an extra mule to help make sure that you keep the, you know, that you can get double gas, you know, so you need less SCVs mining. It boosts your gas income. Let's go ahead and get the engineering bay. We get the engineering bay before we get the arm race. So now let's get the arm race. Let's swap this over. And go ahead and make another reactor there. So it's just a little bit off, but it's more than fine. So where do we go from here? Well, we can go one round of Hellions. Uh-oh. Sorry, one round of Hellions. I'm not 100% used to the talking while playing thing. But so we have enough to get the Hellions. A little SCV supply block, but that's fine. We're about as many SCVs as we could probably want. So the Hellions, you know, we can use them to do almost anything. We can use them to poke around, but we don't need to. We can use them in our push too. In this case, let's just use them to poke around. Alright, so what are we gonna get first? Well, we already got 2 siege tanks. Let's get a Thor, some Hellbats, and some Vikings. You can delay your missile turrets, depending on if you think it's going to be an Oracle or Mutalisk, or against Protoss you want to get them a little bit earlier. Against the Zerg you can delay them till about 10 minutes. Or Hellbats. So we're just gonna, don't lose the Hellions. I mean, you kind of ideally would want to keep them, but if you see a drone line like this, kind of a nice open drone line, don't worry about it and go ahead. And let's get another 4, because we got 2 tanks. Let's keep it kind of even. Get a nice little scout out. Oh look, the possibility of Mutalisks. Are we going to change anything? Nah. Oh, more Hellbats here. More Hellbats here. Alright, let's get one round of Medevacs. More Hellbats. Let's get a Siege Tank next. You know what? Let's go ahead and get this third already. With the SCVs from the main. Let's get these on the natural. I mean, you know, let's get these on the third. Hellbat, Viking, and let's get another 4. Oops. So we're losing some, so let's just make 3 SCVs real fast. And now let's make 3 factories. What's the queue for these? Well, we have enough gas to afford them, is pretty much the queue. Sensor towers, we're not too worried about those. Let's go again to get a tech lab here. Now let's get 1 round of Hellbats, because we need the gas to get these. Anytime we don't have the gas to get something, we'll just get a round of Hellbats. If mutas are being really annoying, you can go ahead and throw down some more missile turrets. But you should ideally, if you're facing mutasks, keep 1 Thor at each base, so 1 here in the main, 1 in the natural, and then we can keep our Vikings kind of at the 3rd until the 3rd Thor pops out. So we're in a pretty good spot. Oh, we're slacking a little bit on the supply depot department. Oh. Let's go ahead and check that off. Sorry about that. Let's go ahead and go. So we're gonna be making a Thor here, and a siege tank here, 2 Widow Mines, or 2 Hellbats, and 2 Vikings. Let's close this up. But sometimes with this build we may lose, which is more than acceptable, you know? We can't expect to win every game doing the exact same build. It's a guideline, it's something for you to follow. Get back to your basics. If you ever feel the pressure, you just say, let me get back to my basics. If you need more Thors, you can always use these to make tech labs, or reactors if you want more anti-ground. Maybe just making a lot of Zerlings. We only need 2 medevacs, really. We don't need more than that. Let's make one Thor from the one up here, and a siege tank on the Thor one. Make the timings a little bit faster. Now we're maxed out, so what do? We can keep these guys back at home to rally, and anything that we lose, we're going to replace, so we're not going to send them out. So here we go, here's the max. We max out about the same time that 2-2 is going to finish. So let's just push out. And when we push, we're going to transfer some over to the 3rd. But we're only going to do it once. The next one, we're going to go ahead and drop a mule. Bayonets. So, units, siege tank, oh no, 4, Vikings. We're kind of just 1-Aing and sieging every time we see units. So let's go ahead and poke up here. This is our army. We're just gonna go until we lose it. Now remember what I said about being cute? You can be cute and do things like this. It's not needed. But you can use the units you have to do extra things. So 1 siege tank, 1 Thor, lots of Hellbats, and more medevacs. Or more Vikings. Oh, you're getting quite low. You're getting low. Switch you back. Again, things you don't have to do, but you can do. But we get your upgrades. Now what can we do? Well, these guys are kind of weak and it looks like our push is dying. So let's send these guys home and continue with our tiny force. Get another siege tank, another Thor, more Vikings. How that? Alright, and let's go grab another base. Get some SCVs to repair these. Now, we should be remax around the same time our 3rd goes through. If the push doesn't go horrible. Oops. We found it. Let's go ahead and get that there. And let's push out again. we made one extra siege tank. We did, so I'm glad we caught that. Let's go ahead and clear out this circling so we can float this over. Because we do want 3 orbitals, and we don't want to keep moving them. You know, just to grab our third, and from there on we'll go the other way. Why are we going this way this time? No particular reason. Remember the rally at home? Ooh, Overlord. Let's go ahead and push in. Ooh, units, let's siege. Spread out a little bit. Back. 1 siege tank, 1 Thor, lots of Hellbats, and let's get 2 medevacs. Oh, some of our Thors got caught behind here. So why more medevacs? Well, we lost them. So when your Hellbats are gone, you kind of want to retreat. But we've got some more now, so 1 Thor, 1 tank, lots of Hellbats, and 2 Vikings. Let's go ahead and move this over here. So we saw units, we got 1 tank, let's siege you. I'm gonna go up this ramp a little. This will make it harder for him. Uh-oh. You know, this means we have to make more workers. Ramps are really hard for Ultralisks to break through. So he killed off a lot of workers, so we want to remake enough for an entire base. Thor, siege tank, some Hellbats, and let's get some Vikings. We only need about 2 medevacs. We got a lot of gas, but not a lot of minerals, so let's go ahead and not fill those gas geysers back up yet. But we have some idols. You can kind of keep them at their respective bases. Okay. Alright. See, a Thor, a siege tank, some Vikings, and Hellbats. Oh look, we're maxed. Let's get the gas geysers here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2 there because there's 1 idle. And he's gone. What we would have done is then rallied over here. Why only 12? Well, they're not fresh patches. If they're not fresh, then you can get just a few. And then we go from there. So 16 there. We've only got like 13 here. So let's transfer some workers over. We got 4 workers making. Oh, no, we don't. We got 3, which is close to 13. You know, we're about to where we want to be. And we would have been doing this push the entire game. What does he have? See, yes, he has this space. So this Zerg was on 1, 2, 3, 4 bases. Probably the majority of the time. And our timing push has been destroying him, because close to when he kills the first army, we're able to remax with the second. Alright, off to the next game. Let's take a look at what he's got. Some fun stats, and we'll be back.